everyone, it's Sophie with Crimson Canvas Arts, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make a very fun and colorful hot air balloon drawing. Let's first talk about why hot air balloons are able to fly. Inside a hot air balloon, there is a burner that burns propane and heats up the air inside of the balloon. Because the air inside the balloon is less dense than the cold air outside of the balloon, it floats up into the sky. You've probably experienced something like this of hot air rising. If you've ever been inside a building in the summertime, you'll notice that the bottom floor of the building is relatively cool. But if you go upstairs in the building, usually the second floor or the top floor is a lot hotter than that bottom floor. That's because hot air rises. As the burner heats up the air inside of the hot air balloon, the balloon flies upwards. When you want to land back on the ground, they turn down the burner, the air inside the balloon cools, and it floats back down to the ground. Alright, let's get started on our project. So today we're going to be making a very fun and colorful drawing of a hot air balloon. Let's start with our first step. For this project, what you'll need is a small piece of paper. This one here is a 9 by 12 sheet of paper cut in half, but any small size of paper will do. You'll also need a pencil and an eraser and some colored pencils. If you don't have colored pencils, this lesson could also be completed with markers, crayons, oil pastels, or any other good tool to color. For our first step, we're going to start by drawing a big circle towards the top of our paper here. We want this circle to be really nice and big. We want it to almost touch the top and the sides of our piece of paper here. It's okay if it's a little bit lopsided. Balloons aren't perfect. Try and think of that circle as being about the same size as a hand. My hands might be a little bigger than yours, but should be about the size of a hand, and you want it to be almost touching the very top of your paper and the sides of your paper as well. Once you've drawn this circle, the next thing we're going to do is draw a trapezoid. A trapezoid is like a rectangle, but two of the sides are angled in instead of going straight up and down. So at the bottom, I'm going to draw two lines kind of angling in and a little line connecting them at the bottom. That's my trapezoid. Next step is I'm going to take my eraser and I'm just going to erase the little line in between these two shapes. So instead of two shapes, now they're joined into one big shape. And you'll notice that I left some space down below the balloon because I need to have room to draw the basket. And that's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to draw two straight lines coming down from the corners of my balloon. And then I'm going to draw a little square or a rectangle underneath that to be the basket of my balloon. Next, I'm going to draw about 5 or so horizontal lines going across my balloon. Horizontal means they're going to be going side to side. So I'm going to draw about 5. It doesn't have to be exactly 5. You want to make sure there's a little room in between them, about an inch or so. And we're just going to use those lines to separate our balloon into some stripes. You can see on mine I did 4 lines. You can do 4, 5, 6, whatever looks good for your particular balloon. Next, I'm going to draw about 5 more horizontal lines on my basket. We're going to try and make the basket look like it has a woven texture. So I'm going to draw, again, about 5 or so horizontal lines going across. And then I'm going to draw about 5 or so more lines, but this time they're going to be vertical, which means they're going up and down. Now you can see that I'm starting to get a kind of textured look for the basket, so it looks like it might be woven. Alright, next step is I'm going to draw the tops of some trees down below because I want my hot air balloon to really look like it's flying up high. And it's up to you what kind of trees you want to draw for yours. For mine, I'm going to draw maybe two types of trees. I'm going to draw some that are kind of round and leafy like this one. And then I might also draw some that are a little bit more pointy to look a little bit more like pine trees. Maybe I'll draw one more over here. And you'll notice that I'm not drawing the whole tree. I don't need to draw the tree trunk because I'm trying to make my hot air balloon look like it's flying up really high. And since it's so high up, we only see the top of the tree here, not the tree trunk. Alright, last step of drawing with the pencil is now I'm going to draw a little character inside my basket. And this part is totally up to you. You can draw any kind of character you want. It could be an animal, a person, maybe a monster or an alien, totally up to you. For mine, I think I'm going to draw a little bunny character. Just something cute and simple. There. At this point, if you would like, you can go in with a black marker or a black colored pencil or a black whatever it is that you're using to color, and you can use it to trace over your lines and give your picture a nice outline. But this is optional, up to you what kind of look it is that you want for your picture. Alright, I went ahead and traced mine with a black permanent marker to make it pop a little bit more. This stage is optional, but I do think adding the black outline will make your drawing look a little bit more vibrant and polished. If you are using a permanent marker like I did though, make sure you're being careful as you trace so you don't get it on the table, and it might be a good idea to take another piece of paper while you're working and slide it under your drawing just in case you draw off the page so that your table is protected. Once you're done with that stage, now it is time to color. So we want our hot air balloon to look really fun and colorful. So what we're going to do is on each stripe of our balloon, we're going to color a different kind of design or pattern. And it can be anything you want it to be. Try and think of lots of different shapes and designs. You could do squares or rectangles, circles, hearts, stars, any kind of shape. You could do designs or patterns like polka dots or stripes. You could do different kinds of lines like curlicues and wiggly lines and zigzag, any kind of design you want. After you finish drawing in your hot air balloon at the top, then you can color in your character and your basket. I colored in my basket brown because oftentimes baskets are brown, but if you want yours to be a different color, it can be anything you want it to be. And you can see that in my balloon up on the top, I repeated some of the patterns, and that's okay too. But I really tries to use lots of different shapes and colors to make it super bright and colorful. And then last part would be to color in your trees down below. And if you have extra time at the end and you want to add more to your picture, you could always add something to your background. You could color the sky blue or sunset, maybe it's a rainy day. You could add some birds or butterflies in the background. Totally up to you what kind of background you want for your hot air balloon picture. Alright, thank you everyone so much for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed our lesson. For more information about our programs, you can visit us at crimsoncanvasarts.com.